We are at Lower Calf Creek Falls. It's about a 6-mile hike, about 500 feet elevation gain, about 2 hours to get in and out, and it's about 6 miles out and back. But it was a beautiful drive in here. And we're staying at Escalante. It was about 6 or 7 miles away. Well, let's get started. So there are restrooms here. That's the only place that there are restrooms. And then you got to pay for parking. And supposedly we were able to pay at the end of the parking lot. And right at the very end, get yourself a fee envelope. Fill everything out. Looks like it's cash only. And it is
what per vehicle?
$5 per vehicle. So it was a nice surprise that I didn't know about, but we have a national park pass, America the Beautiful pass, and you don't have to pay for parking with that. It's included with the pass. So save $5 there. It's just the creek crossing. There's more campsites. There's more campsites further up. Here we go. And Patty's a fast walker. She's already ahead of me.
So we're in Grand Staircase Escalante National Monument, and it's huge. Like 1.8 million acres of remote Utah wilderness, kind of huge. What's crazy is this was one of the last places in the lower 48 to get fully mapped.
That's pretty cool.
It still feels wild and untouched. Like you could hike 4 days and not see another soul.
Barely into this hike and the views don't disappoint. Such a pretty trail, and we got the creek right next to us.
The staircase in the name comes from these rock layers that step down in elevation from Bryce Canyon to the Grand Canyon. Geologists say each layer holds a different time in Earth's history, kind of like the pages of a giant natural history book. You're literally walking through millions of years of geology.
So far, this trail is pretty easy to hike on. Very flat. And just pretty sandy. A little comfy on the feet. It's nice.
Back in the day, this area was so rugged that even Butch Cassidy used to hide out around here. It was the perfect place to disappear. And honestly, after driving down some of these back roads, I get it. You really have to want to be out here. But that's what makes it so special.
The rock formations here are really interesting. That's one thing we love about coming into Utah. We never really spent that much time here. But it seemed like every corner that we took, looking at the scenery in the mountains, it was just so interesting. Just all the different layers and the colors of the rocks. Well, it didn't take long for us to warm up. Maybe just a half a mile of the trail. It's crazy because last night it was 22 degrees and snowing. And then here we're doing a hike in a tank top and a t-shirt.
We didn't realize this before, but this place is kind of a dinosaur jackpot. Paleontologists have uncovered tons of fossils here, even entire new species that don't exist anywhere else in the world. So while we're hiking around, we're literally walking over ancient dinosaur ground.
See if there's any fish in here. It's so clear. Clean.
Careful.
Slot canyons are one of the coolest things to see here, but also something you really have to respect. A storm miles away can cause a flash flood, even if the skies above you are clear. Always check the weather and don't go in if there's even a chance of rain. Nature doesn't mess around here. I'm not that tired yet to have to sit on that bench. And there's markers here, but I heard that there was maybe a map you can download in order to understand what those markers are for. But I didn't look for it before we left.
Escalante is home to some of Utah's rarest wildlife: desert tortoises, falcons, and even mountain lions. We didn't see one, but just knowing that they're out there kind of adds to the magic. That makes you keep an eye on your surroundings.
These cliff faces are so huge. Makes you feel really small. Patty says it makes her feel smaller because she's already tiny. Those rocks are sure slippery.
This isn't a national park. It's actually managed by the Bureau of Land Management, or BLM. That means there's fewer paved roads, fewer signs, and a lot more freedom. You can camp almost anywhere, but you gotta be self-reliant. No services and no cell phone signal. It's pack it in, pack it out, and maybe say a little prayer for your suspension.
It's a lot less cloudy compared to yesterday. And a little warmer. You can tell that the highway's up there. You can see a couple of road signs up there. Those flowers have a really nice, sweet smell. A lot better than smelling myself.
We based ourselves in the little town of Escalante. It's tiny but super charming. A couple diners, gas station, and one of the best pies we've had on the trip. It kind of feels like an old western town that time forgot, in the best way.
Hi. Yep, I got to do the same thing too. Nice breeze to air everything out. Plants look like rosemary, but it's not. There's no smell. That water's probably really cold. Since it was so cold last night, and there's probably some snow runoff in there too. Big old chunk of rock that just fell out of there, leaving a hole. Wow is my favorite word. Looks like cold water. No fish yet. I heard there was trout in here. We're getting close. Very close.
Whoa.
I'm sure it's going to be right around this corner. We can hear it. Hey, guys. Huh? Well, this hike wasn't too bad. 3 miles in, said it was a moderate hike. It was pretty good. Wasn't strenuous at all.
No.
All uphill, so going back's gonna be nice. But it is chilly.
We might be able to do one more.
Yeah, we'll try to do one more.
One more hike.
Yeah, while we have the good weather. And before we leave tomorrow.
Yeah.